Everybody, welcome back to Sky Factory 4, episode 16 with me, Sid, and last episode we left off waiting for that to grow, and it has grown. It's also grown again. I've also processed a whole load of minerals. We've got blocks and blocks of silver going in there. I've got blocks of iron, copper, bronze, silver, electrum, tin. But the only thing I've not done is gold. You'll notice also that that chest is now overflowing. It's backflowing into this. That one's full, so it's going to here. Yeah, we need to do something about our storage system before long. But before we do that, we need to hang on. Let me go in here, grab you, get that going. There you go. Enderman Seeds. We went to look at those last time, and I'm going to pop that into plant here, and it's going to grow slowly. So let's try a little bit of bone meal on this. I have plans for today, by the way. There's you can see there's things there that I have plans to play with, but I'm hoping this will speed part of that along. Okay, let me go and make one of those. So, issue we have is Enderman. Enderman don't spawn very frequently, or not as frequently as I would like. So, I'm going to make myself a few of those. And I am going to get that on the board, and I'm going to swab him, and I'm going to swab him, and we're going to swab, oops, excuse me sir, thank you, I'm going to swab that, and I'm going to kill him. Right, so that's my plan, my cunning plan revealed, is to make mob swabs. Now the next thing we need is a bucket of XP. Now, how do you make a bucket of XP? Well, it's not immediately obvious. I had to double check this or check this out. Now normally what you would do is you build a mob farm with a mob masher. The mob masher would crush everything up. It would, generate stuff and things and stuff, and it would fill a singularity tank with experience, liquid experience. However, there is this one. So if I can make, thank you, clear that. That makes me 2 of those, 1, 2, and I don't know whether we were still missing most of what we need there. Singularity tank, thank you very much. Hopper, thank you very much. Bang, done. Now we've got a reasonable amount of experience, so my thoughts were this. Drain some of my experience into here. Oh, I can't help but think that looks like I'm having a pee. And maybe get a bucket. Yeah, that should do for now. A bucket of that and some seeds. We need seeds, seedy seeds. If I were seeds, where would I be? Let me just have a look at in here. I've got everything except those, believe it or not. So what we need to do is come over here, and we should find that I've got a reasonable amount of those. So if I craft that with that and that, I should get a GM chicken feed. And then what we can do is, sorry, I thought I'd left the door open. Bring this fella out here and feed him that, and There you go. Spawn Enderman Egg. Now, of course, what good is a spawn Enderman Egg? Well, on its own, it is not worth a great deal of anything. But what we can now do is we can then... Oh, hello. Are you mature? Yes, you are. Okay. Boop, boop. Many ways to get ender pearls. Right. Next thing we need to think about is actually playing with the deep mob learning thing, but we don't desperately need to do it immediately because we've got torches and we've got a means to shut this thing down. So what we first need to do is go and sort out a spawning room. Yeah. Let me have a little fiddle with that, and I think the other thing I will do while we're here and we've got the opportunity is add a few more chickens to the mix, because I'm gonna oops in thank you. They're quite adorable baby chickens in this game, you know. Yeah, this will just mean that we are good for more chickens, because I am going to make more spawn Enderman eggs. I mean, it'd be wrong not to, wouldn't it? So the question then is, how do I want to play the grinder, and where do I want to play the grinder? Let's go and have a look, shall we? Because we've got a fair number of spawners stashed around the place, mainly in not that building but the next building over. So we desperately do need to do some work in here, because this is definitely not in a state of completion. This one I think is probably one of the nicer buildings, as they were. Both of these two are probably a couple of the nicer buildings. I think we'll probably want to put our mob grinding facility over in this one, perhaps over here. What was in there? Nothing. I can't remember where was what and what was who, and you know, all the usual things. Let's have a little peek around. One of these is, or several of these have got spawners in them. That one takes us through, and then that is that's our little arena area, so it must be somewhere around. We'll find it. I remember there's a couple in there. And there was a couple on the, I think it was the next floor down. There we go. Yeah. Right, how do we want to play this? I mean, this area here is largely useless as a spawning area because it's lit, whereas down here we're into, in fact there's actually spawners already down here, better still. So, questions. Obviously take you out of the mix. How do I want to play it? This is a, what, 16 by 16 is, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 14 internally. Now we know that mob spawners operate in 4 by 4 by 4. Well, it's a 4 by 3 by 4 by 3 technically. They're not quite 4 by 4, but 4 by 4 works reasonably well. So if we were to take out everything down here with an aim to building over the next, this floor and this floor, because there's still a couple of spawners up there as well, we could potentially get a whole 4, maybe as many as 4 Enderman spawners running side by side. And I know we don't necessarily need quite that many, but especially not once we've got the deep mob learning element sorted. But in the first instance, yeah, it's probably going to be reasonably straightforward. So let me do a bit of clearing out, and we'll try and work out how I'm going to set this all up, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so the first thing we've got going for us is this thing. Carry on. It's going to make this very easy because we can quite easily get in and move these spawners. Filling in this gap here is going to be relatively straightforward as well. And then over here we are going to continue and just strip out this floor. Obviously that spawner will come out. Let's make sure we got that before we give that guy a chance to to spawn. But that is the extent of, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right. To there, and then across like that. And I'll just make sure we keep this well lit until we're ready to actually drop the metaphorical bomb on this lot. Yeah, we need to grab you and pop you there, and then we should be good, I think, to get this last one here. And with a wee bit of luck, drop that there. And then we can change you to an Enderman Spawner. And we can do that with all 4 of these. And we can have lots and lots of lovely Enderman spawning. In the first instance, we want to push them to a kill zone where we kill them, so we can get the, not that one, the Enderman mob up to self-aware. But until that's done, what the first thing we need to do is take out this entire floor. And once that's done, we'll be reasonably confident that we're not going to have any mobs or anything above us, and that's going to be a nice space for Enderman to spawn in. And we're going to have another modifier on our pig, which would be nice to do. So let me just do a little bit more clearing out, and I should be back momentarily. Alright, I'm just getting the last swab, and then we'll do a little bit of Enderman butchery. We need to then explode 3 more chickens. 1. Okay. Oh, hang on. Slightly out of sync with myself. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3. And we should be good to make these. And where have you gone? Come here, chicken. Time to... Gets old quite quick, that joke, to be fair. But it's nice the first time you have it. Okay, 1 and 2. Perfect. Right. 1, 2. Okay, right. Let me just try and concentrate for a second here. So from there we need to come up with something to push them. So let's get into not as deep, mob grinding. So a fan. a fan would be great. Let's make 2 of those, and then we need a width radiator. So let me just put this down a second. So if I pop this here, this has a 1 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range. Now we need it to have an 8 range, so we are going to need a range modifier. 1, 2, 3. Let's go with 1. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be as far as about there. And it needs to have a width modifier, which will give it a 3. Now I'm looking at 4, so I think we need to get another one. Oh, there's a problem. Well, it's actually not a problem, but you know, it's an issue, because these guys, whilst they're grown up, let's have a look. Feather essence, we could use pristine twilight glacial matter, okay, or we can buy them from seeds. From that's more like a solution to me. Let me grab seeds and let's go and buy a load, shall we? So that'll give us quite a lot of what we want is feathers, and I want 64 of them, thank you. So I need 4 of those, and another few range, 1, 2, 3, and that. So that should give us that. Let me go with, I'll go with levers, because we can, and they're cheap. That should be fine. So that's that. That'll probably do for starters, I think. Could do with some glass, actually. What we like for... haven't really got much glass. I can make glass, that's not a problem. Pardon me. Let me sort glass then. Sand. There's 56 there. Can we make more sand, please? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 4 buckets of things of sand. That will come out. Let me cook these. I'll be back in a second. Okay, the other thing I've noticed that we're kind of missing at the moment is basically as reinforced tools as possible. So that was a little bit more than I anticipated, actually. I only needed 7. So we can take you to unbreakable. We can put 1, 2, 3 on there. 2, 3. And we can also put 3 on there. 1, 2, 3. Which gives us reinforced level unbreakable, and that's reinforced 3. Oops. 2, 3. I think that is at full. Yep. Again, just pushes their durability a little bit further. Speed, I don't think is going to be a major issue. We do want glass, however, so let me grab... I don't think I'm going to need a vast amount of glass, but we do want some. Slabs, slabbies, slabs. I think slabs might not be a bad idea. 31 may not be enough, so okay. We have not many. We could go there. They'll do the trick, won't they? We'll take a bit of that with us as well. Oh, and while I'm at it, I should also put the rest of that in. I'm just, whenever I'm getting the opportunity, I'm processing as much of this resin up as possible, and then we can just set it running in the background. Once this is all finished melting, I'll cast the ingots and then set that auto casting thing running, and you know, the world will be, well, if not good and happy, at least it'll be, you know, a thing. I never did find my bag either, did I? Oh, you're full. Okay. Let me just get this going. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, first things first. These all need to be Enderman spawners. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do, but you really should not be there right now. So we'll pop that down. Then we're going to come in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do it here. And where did I do? Yeah, so one over like there. And then we need to, and then we can pop our fans in there and there, and we can give you 3 of those and 2 of those, give you 3 and 2. We can show the area, so that's an overlap and it will push them to here. That's not quite far enough. I probably could have done with a thing. Have I got the range? I have. Let's do grind, mob grinding, range utilities. Make me 1, 2 more of those, I think, and put 1 in there and 1 in there, and we'll show that area. So we should have an overlap. It will push all the way to the edge here, and that is fine. And then if we place the, hey, okay, that was probably a mistake. Yeah, let me just pop that out for a second. And we can pop that there and pop that one there. And turn the show area. We'll hide those areas. We don't need those on anymore. So that's a thing. And it will push all the way to this point here. Now what I would like, I'm not entirely sure. Have I got a chisel? Or did I ever make a chisel? I don't think I did. I don't think we're at the building. We've really been at the building stage yet. So we'll just go with glass down here. That's fine. And that needs to be, where are we? That would go to there. Then again. And one more, I think, actually. We need to be, well, maybe we'll do that like so. Just because. And yeah, there is a reason. We'll get to what that is eventually. We need to take all that out anyway. And again, let me just put show area on. That will show us what where the Endermen are going to be pushed to. So at this point, what we need is a space down here that we can stand in, but the Enderman can't spawn in, and that's the. So if we come here, how do I want to play this? We'll go 3 back perhaps. And then we can come in at, now if I stand here, I can, mind you, my magnet will work, won't it? Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, we've got that, and then we need to make sure that the roof on the top of here is 2.5 tall. And spawnable, of course. ultimately we really want to fill this in, so there's no space for them to teleport to. Okay, let me do a little bit of jigging around and I shall be back in a sec. Well, we can definitely say we have got an Enderman spawner. I have that. Let's get this right on the right bar. Enderman, that's the wrong one. Let me get the other model on the bar. We need 32 Enderman to go, and there's no way they can get me in here. They can't teleport in because it's only 2.5 tall. We shouldn't have any shortage of Enderman. Now, the only thing I did notice that I could have done without is that I may have wanted to put a wall between those and the back, just to stop them spawning behind the actual spawners themselves. But this will work admirably, I think. I don't even think we need to faff around with grinders. I mean, this has actually got. I haven't got actually unbreaking. I've got 2 modifiers on this, so I could get 2 reinforcement levels on it. But 12, 11, 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Where are you? Find me one more of you. Where? How did... Yeah, that was the worry, that you get the ones that spawn behind the actual thing. I mean, it's, again, in the grand scheme of things, and we have a self-aware Enderman spawner. We actually don't need that anymore, but we are going to try... In fact, let me just get myself a little... Hang on. I can't see what the hell I'm doing here. Whoop. There we go, little shot of that. I'm not sure how much. Wow, I've got plenty of ender pearls as well. We'll leave these guys to it. This is just a straight tunnel down, so there's no real worries there. And I say that gives us a reasonable start in life. We've got a virtually infinite Enderman spawner. And yeah, well, it is infinite. It's not virtually infinite. It will keep on spawning Enderman from now until the end of time. Yeah, we'll go this way. I've completely turned myself around as where I am. Still need to work on improving the infrastructure, but I think the next thing we need to work on, I don't know whether we're anywhere close to starting on this, but I'll double check. Definitely the next thing we need to work on is the storage is... This simple storage system is great, don't get me wrong, it really does do a good job, but it is for want of a better word simple, and consequently, if we empty my inventory of crap now, you will find that most of it has ended up in here and in here, and that's not ideal. And we've got many blocks of gold being cast, which is fine. I've got no problems with that, but because the bulk storage is here, we really do need to start playing with full-on Hoofer applied energistics. And to do that, we are going to need to make some stuff. And first thing we're going to need to make is we need to make an inscriber press. We're going to make that by pouring onto a cobblestone circuit mold, and we've got tough alloy makes the inscriber press. So what was that? We need an inscriber, and we need some chisel of some description and some cobblestone. Inscriber requires fluix. Fluix we get from an enrichment chamber. But how do we get the fluix seed? We get that with fluix. Seriously? Metallurgic infuser, alloy furnace, fluid infuse. So mechanism or nuclear craft. I have no idea about nuclear craft. I do know mechanism, so that is almost certainly the route we'll go. We probably won't do it down here. We have got that, so we need to start thinking about mechanism. Let me see how long I've been recording on this episode, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we haven't got a huge amount of time to go left on this episode, but I did, I believe, last episode say I want to just go and have a look at a few more of these hoofers, the domes. So I thought that we're about 30 minutes into this episode, so this is, you know, I just want to go and have a quick peek at another dome, just to see what the value, if anything, is of actually coming across and moving into these domes, other than potential loot from any buildings in them. And I think that's going to be about it, you know. I don't see a huge value of moving around in this dimension. Now, apparently we are going to have to go to, believe it or not, the Lost City dimension, because even though we're in the Lost City dimension, this one doesn't have any ores in it, and consequently we are going to struggle to find certain things. Right, let me get the F7 off. So again, we've got a fairly simple biome. This is a big building, however. Now I know, or is it multiples of the same building together? I don't know. I see you, sir. Oh, damn it. Yeah, there's definitely stuff to be had around here. Again, it's going to be largely, I suspect, semi-useless, but you know, you get the loots out of the chest, for example. There is a chest I saw. Which we... But there's nothing really in it. This is, and there's actually spawners underneath that, which kind of make a mockery of the entire thing. So I am somewhat dubious as to the value of hunting out many of these Lost City certainly in this dimension that we're in, because for the most part these buildings are the same. Now there is obviously benefit in terms of going and finding biomes if we wanted to do anything specific with biomes, but I'm not seeing anything that we need to do with biomes right now. So yeah, anyway, as you can see, the domes themselves are largely self-contained and just really more of the same. There is a data center. I think I mentioned there is a data center building in the Lost Cities which we haven't seen, which is big and usually has a lot of goodies in it, but that's, you know, that's a fairly large. You're not going to show me? No, you're not. Okay. Oh, Jay, let me just go daylight. There we go. That is a fairly large building, and I'm not sure whether it could actually even fit into one of these domes, but you never know. Anyway, on that note, I think next episode we are going to get into, I love this thing, get into applied energistics, and yeah, I think until then, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.